What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV. Another day of rumours. The transfer silly season is in full swing, and we've got another Tottenham update to bring you. We got a transfer target tier list to bring you as well. And yeah, I think we might have to get used to this streaming twice a day, once in the afternoon, once in the night. I think this is going to be a regular occurrence. But big up to everyone in the live chat. And before we get into it, let's say a massive big up as well to our sponsors, OK Jersey, the biggest discount you can get on YouTube, which is 15% that we bring to you here today. The code is Spurs15. And here's another one of their classics. This is a real special one. This is my favourite one, actually.
It's beautiful.
Look at that. That is beautiful. The gold, proper top quality as well. You can't get better than this, people. Look at it. Who doesn't want that shirt?
You get 15% off.
I know.
Use our code.
I know, and they're cheap as it is. So 15% off makes it even cheaper, people. But you get all your World Cup jerseys. You can get Tottenham stuff. You can get this. Look. Well, it's a bit hot in the studio to wear it right now, but this is what I wore coming in. Absolutely lovely stuff. Lovely, lovely garms. Top quality. Top quality. So you never know. Keep getting it. Maybe we can give you an even bigger discount next time. But that is your discount for now. Spurs 15% off. The link is in pinned to the live chat.
Yes, they are replicas, but they're the best replicas out there.
No, I'm telling you guys, these guys are the real deal. They are the real deal. You don't want to give your money to Enoch at the end of the day, do you? So that's why we're sponsored with the great OK jerseys. So link in the live chat, and also the code 15% off is in the live chat as well. But there you can see all your retro gear, current gear, and the new shirt. Apparently Spurs are double dropping the away shirt and home shirt at the end of the month, so you know where to get it, and that is OK Jersey.
That'll be the quickest way to get it, probably.
Yeah, probably. All right, let's get into it. Tottenham update. Got a lot to speak about, and first up, we're going to talk about CUTI Romero, as Fabrizio Romano has said that Romero has serious chances to leave Tottenham in the summer. Not like we didn't know that. But the new information is that top clubs have started to call as an exit is a possibility despite a new deal signed last summer. Romero could be open to a sell, as the Telegraph and TYC Sports have reported. So now top clubs have started to call Tottenham regarding CUTI Romero, which is, yeah, a positive sign.
Yeah, and it's not unexpected. I think when you've got a good defender like Romero who's out of favour, well, not out of favour, but he's looking to leave, Tottenham are willing to sell, I think top clubs are obviously going to be sniffing around. So I think it's no surprise to anyone, given how this season has gone for him, given how much trouble he's made within the club with some of the statements he's made. Not that we're against it, I'm just saying from a club's perspective, they probably don't need the headache and the hassle of dealing with that every time he opens his mouth. And his form hasn't been great. So I think also we need to raise a bit of money, I think, on top of that. And he's probably an easy way to do it. So I don't think it'll happen till after the World Cup. I think he'll probably have a good World Cup, and then he'll probably secure a move somewhere.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it, with Romero, because last summer it looked like he was open to leaving, but the clubs just didn't put up the money and didn't put up the offers. So it seems to be different this time around. Maybe because there is more of a willingness now from Spurs to sell. Maybe that's why Spurs, these clubs are starting to circle now.
Yeah, that's what I think it is. I think it's just more Tottenham are probably going to willing to lower that. I think they're going to start off with the fee that we demanded last summer, but I think that's open to negotiations, how we say. Whereas last summer, I think we were pretty adamant we don't want to lose him under any circumstances unless, our fee is met. Whereas I think there's probably a bit more manoeuvrability this summer on that. So it is what it is. I think, for me, I think De Zerbi would love a player like Romero in his defence. I think he's such a De Zerbi player. But unfortunately, I think it's a timing and circumstance issue. If De Zerbi was here last year, maybe things could have been different.
With Romero as well, he's obviously going to be...
beginning of last year, sorry.
He's going to be at the World Cup, right? He had an unbelievable World Cup last time, being the defender of the tournament pretty much, winning the trophy. If he has a similar World Cup, that could, raise his value, because maybe it will remind people how good CUTI Romero can actually be, because last World Cup, if someone was going to buy him off the back of that World Cup, it would have been a massive fee.
Yeah.
So let's hope he can have a good World Cup, and maybe it can be even more than maybe we're anticipating.
Hope so.
Pedro Porro up next. Fabrizio Romano saying that he understands Tottenham don't want to sell Pedro Porro this summer, despite Real Madrid looking at him and the Man City links. Tottenham will do their best to keep Pedro Porro this summer, as he's seen as a key player for De Zerbi and the management. And that's what I want to hear coming out of Tottenham. I don't want to hear any sort of inklings that we're willing to sell Pedro Porro. He does have, 2 years left in his deal. And we need to do our best to get him to sign one, because if he's refusing to sign one now, then he probably will go at some point in the next year. So I want to see us keep him. I think he's so vital to us, and I'm glad this is the message coming out from Tottenham.
Yeah, and I think it's the right message, because he's so vital to us, as you say. And I also think he's so underrated, in my opinion. He's one of the top right backs in the league, one of the top right backs in Europe, I think. I think he's been a victim of kind of how we've been playing over the last couple of years. And I think you put him in a solid kind of secure system, a better team, essentially. And I think people would be talking about him in a very different manner and have very different conversations about him. I think he's top quality. So it's right, it's true, that contract situation is worrying. If he goes down to his last year, all of a sudden that price significantly drops. And we've already shown, when it happened with Kane, that if players go down to their last year, we're not going to let them go for a free. We're going to sell. Doesn't matter who they are, even if it's Harry Kane.
Yeah.
So we will sell if he goes down to last year and he doesn't sign a new deal. Let's hope we can convince him. I don't know what his salary. What is his salary at the moment? But hopefully we can increase it, make him one of the top players of the club, and we can keep him on. I'll get what he's over. Is he over 100 yet? Actually, I don't know.
I think he's about 100. Yeah, 106.
106, and get him up to 150.
Yeah, I think he's worth it. I think he's he's got genuine star quality in Pedro Porro. What I am worried about, though, is him going away with the World Cup with Spain this summer. Obviously, there's a lot of Real Madrid players there that will go and getting in his ear and being like, come on, Pedro, I know you want to come back to Spain. That does worry me.
We've seen it before with other players, where there's been links, and then all of a sudden a tournament, or they go away in international duty, and things happen. I remember it happened with Fabregas. I remember they put a Barca shirt on him, and I remember that famous press conference. So I hope something similar like that doesn't happen. But when you've got, I don't know who in the Madrid squad. Actually, who in the Madrid squad is Spanish? I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Can't think.
There must be a couple.
Can't
remember off the top of my head. Is Danny Carvajal still there?
Carvajal, I don't know if he's in the squad.
Anyway, Hyson, is he there?
Hyson, maybe. My point being, once they start talking to you and start saying, look, I'm on this amount, this is what we get, these are the perks, we're going to be challenging every year, you can win trophies here. I mean, it's hard to...
There actually isn't that many Real Madrid players in the team, I don't think.
Yeah, I was thinking.
If any. I don't think there are any Real Madrid players in the squad.
Well, there you go.
That's a positive.
Well, there you go.
All the Barca players will be getting in. You don't want to go there. You don't want to go there.
Oh, Rodri's in the squad, right?
Rodri, yeah, Rodri.
Oh dear. Maybe Man City players will be getting in his ear, not Madrid players.
Is that not mad that there's no Real Madrid players going to the World Cup for Spain?
That must be the first time ever. Is that the first time
Unless
ever?
I'm missing someone, I generally don't think there's any Real Madrid players there.
I think I read somewhere that it's the first time in a while that there isn't.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Well,
yeah, first time ever, someone said.
Well, I'll take it. That's positive.
All right, no need to be worried about that.
All right, let's move on.
Unless Porro wants to change that.
Yeah.
God.
The thing is, he doesn't need anyone to sway him. Real Madrid is Real Madrid. That's the reality. All right, what are we talking about next? We are going to go and talk about Jan-Paul van Hecke, as The Athletic are saying that if Romero decides to leave Tottenham, and they do decide they want an established right centre-half to replace him, keep an eye on Brighton's Jan-Paul van Hecke. Is a player that we've spoken about many times in the build-up to the transfer window, after the season has finished. Look, we know the qualities that he has, and he would be a very good signing for us. Look, we've spoken before about the prospect of having him and Van de Ven as our two centre-backs, and that is mouth-watering. However, it could not be great if it's like him and Senesi at the back.
I think there are probably more problems. I don't think it's terrible, him and Senesi. I think we could maybe make it work in some games. Obviously, there are some games where they might be caught out, and obviously you want a Van de Ven there with his pace. But I think Senesi and Van Hecke, definitely two players with their ball-playing ability. You know, we can control games on the ball a lot, to a good effect, I think, with those two as well. I think Van Hecke was obviously the obvious kind of target when you look at the right centre-back and you look at someone who's Premier League experienced, in his prime at the moment, has worked under De Zerbi, fits the kind of profile we want as well, seems to have a good mentality. I think he's going to be starting for the Dutch national team over the summer, I think. So I think he makes a lot of sense, and I think De Zerbi would love to bring him in. I think the big question mark is whether we're going to reintegrate Vuskovic into the team, or are we going to go for a big money right centre-back as well, like Paul Van Hecke, which is obviously a decision the club have to make, what we do with him. I think I like the thought of bringing Vuskovic back in, but at the end of the day, he is 19. So there are question marks whether he's really ready to play Premier League football to the standard of someone like a Van Hecke week in, week out. Obviously, that's a big question mark. But if you do bring in Van Hecke, what that means for Vuskovic long term as well is big question marks there. Because he's not exactly old. He's 25. He's going to be here for a while. Same with Van de Ven. So all of a sudden, Vuskovic will look at that situation thinking, how do I get into that team if Van Hecke signs? So there's a lot of kind of moving parts to signing someone like Jean-Paul Van Hecke. I do think that if we sign him, I think it's better for next season than probably reintegrate. I think Vuskovic will take a bit of time to settle, and maybe he's not as ready as a Van Hecke, but maybe long term you benefit from that. It's about balancing out the short term and long term kind of goals for Tottenham. It's a difficult one. I read a tweet from Paul O'Keefe saying he's heard from people closer to Vuskovic that maybe he's not quite ready, that they think. So, I mean, if that's the case, do we go for a Van Hecke? It's difficult. You see what Arsenal did with Saliba. They put him on loan for like 4 years, didn't they?
2 years.
I think it was longer than that.
No, it was 2 years.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Well, but he was older than Vuskovic when he came into the team at 21, not 19. So it was a bit different.
They signed him at 19. He came into the team at 21. Yeah.
So they didn't. I know Vuskovic has been out on loan for 3 years now, but we did sign him at 15, I think. Mm-hmm. So it was a bit of a different situation. But I mean, if you look at that, they didn't bring him in until they were 100% sure he was ready, and we just got to make that decision, don't we? Yeah,
absolutely. And look, I think his level of performance has been astonishing this year. Top 3 players in the Bundesliga, I think is remarkable, particularly of someone his age. And it's not like we haven't seen players of that age come in at centre-back and not do well in the Premier League. I know it's rare at centre-back to do that, but we have seen that in recent years of players of that sort of age come in and flourish in the Premier League. And I think Van Vuskovic can do that. I would prefer to prioritise Vuskovic's pathway to the first team than sign Jan-Paul Van Hecke. If we were to sign Van Hecke, I would like to still bring Vuskovic in and maybe sell a Kevin Danso, something like that.
I love that.
That's what would be my kind of first thought and first option. But I don't think we're going to sell Kevin Danso this summer. So yeah, I'll just go with Vuskovic and Danso, to be honest, and spend the money elsewhere. That's what I would do. I can already see Brian Daigle in the comments saying no.
No to Van Hecke.
No to Danso selling.
Oh, no to Danso
selling. All right, let's talk about Savinho. There's been more updates on him from last night from Fabrizio Romano, saying negotiations ongoing for Savinho to Tottenham as revealed 2 weeks ago and progressing well. Tottenham believes Savinho wants the move. Talks continue as Man City could open the door to his exit in case of a good proposal. Deal on. It looks like this thing is really progressing with Savinho to Tottenham.
Yeah, and we seem really sure about it. We seem very kind of certain that he's our number one winger target.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Paul O'Keefe says he's our top target. Everyone seems to be moving very, very quickly on this one. So, for me, look, as I said, I like him. I think he's going to be a good signing for us. I think it's a smart piece of business.
Does not worry you that he's our top target this summer?
Does it worry me?
Yeah.
In terms of he's our top winger target. Look, it doesn't worry me that we're signing him.
No, does it worry you that he's our top target?
Maybe a bit.
It worries me big time that he's our top target, because you're talking about he's our number one signing that we want to bring through the door when he's got 2 goals in his last 2 years. Look, I'm not doubting his quality. I think he's got quality. I just don't think he's there just yet.
But maybe with someone like him, you have to move quickly right now. Maybe other targets you can wait until after the World Cup.
I mean, if they're better than Savinho, then why would you not have to move quickly?
Because then there might be, I'm saying there might be at the World Cup, there might be different situations. A lot of clubs, look, not all business is done right now. Maybe you have to move a bit later, but maybe with the Savinho deal, they want to get it done as soon as possible.
He's our top target this summer.
Right now, but the market moves very quickly. You know, maybe something opens up later on that we go for. But I'm guessing it means top target for what's like available right now, what we can get. I think I'm assuming like top target is like the target that we want right now. Like he's as in the one we want to bring.
For me, what top target means is when you go into a transfer window, he's the number one player that you want to bring in. That's what top target means to me.
Okay, so doesn't mean though, just because he's a top target doesn't mean that we're not going to get anyone better than him. Just means that right now we want to get him in as our priority. Which doesn't mean that's it. Anyone else is worse than Savinho. But I don't read like that into it. It could be.
When you're reading the other names that we're looking at a winger target, it does seem like he is the top target for a winger.
I mean, at the moment, those names, other names which we'll get into, aren't great. So I take your point there, and I hope we get someone who's also a bit more peak age and has more of a killer instinct from the wings, someone like a Rashford, which we'll talk about. But I do like the signing of Savinho, and I do want to bring him in, and I do think that him and Kudus will cause havoc on the wings. And I also think they don't have to be getting goals themselves necessarily if they're setting up chances for other people. So, and I do think he's capable of scoring more goals than he has. I think 2 goals. I know he's only got 2. I think he's capable of scoring a bit more than that. But I don't need him to be scoring 10 goals a season if he's getting lots of assists, or he's even not even assists. He's just creating openings and creating gaps and creating problems for the defence and leaving space for our striker or number 10 or the opposite winger, you know, or anyone. I think that's what he just needs to do his job, and I think he can do that.
Yeah, I agree. I do think he can do that, but I still want someone better than Savinho to come in this summer, and I don't think it's right or good enough to have him as the number one target going into this transfer window. And also, you're talking about trusting in our scouting and recruitment that is led by Johan Lange. So that's something I don't have faith in either. So
I get that, but then we can't trust any signing until he's gone.
Well, yeah, it's hard to. I mean, we brought in some decent players last summer.
So you should be advocating no signings until Lange's gone.
I mean, Lange should be gone. I don't know why he's here doing. I don't know why he's here doing this transfer window. It's exactly the same targets last summer as this summer. It makes no sense whatsoever.
I agree with that, but then you would also say you want signings as quick as possible.
Yeah, but Lange should have been gone.
I understand that.
So,
but I'm saying at this point,
it's all a mess.
Until Lang goes, you're going to be complaining of any signing if you go like that.
Well, depends what my feelings are on the particular signing. Like, you know, I like the Javi signing. I like the Kudus signing. I think the CUTI signing was very strange. You know, he's had some good signings. He's had a lot of bad signings. So, you know, it swings and roundabouts at the end of the day.
So maybe this is a good one.
I hope so. But
we haven't got him yet, but I've always wanted him. I think he's a really good player. I think we haven't seen the best of him at City, but there are a lot of reasons for that. He didn't play. I know he didn't play too much last season in terms of start. I think 7 starts last season, but he's not the first wide player to have struggles at City, especially in early on. We've said it before. City Pep wingers always take a long time to acclimatise to how Pep wants to play, and that's also true.
Yeah, usually takes like a season, but look, I grant you that he had injury problems this season for sure, so that might have stunted him a bit more. Look, Pep Guardiola's made no secret about what his feelings are on Savinho, that he thinks he can be a top player one day, but I think he's also made it clear that he's not there yet. which I think is clear for everyone to see.
Mm-hmm.
So
He's had 2 years development now.
yeah, I think he can have a better season for us than he had for Man City last year. I mean, it'd be hard not to because it was a dreadful season for him. So I think he can have a better season, and I rate him. I'm not sitting here saying I don't rate him. I do rate him. I just want someone better as well alongside him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying don't sign him at all. I would like to see him through the door, but not as our number one target. That's it.
Okay, but sometimes you have to move. Okay, we've been going around in circles. Sometimes you have to move quickly, and that's fine. Like maybe we want Rashford, but he's unavailable.
I'm fine for bringing him as the first signing, but not as our number one priority. They're two different things.
Okay.
Let's move on and let's talk about some other winger targets that Paul O'Keefe has brought us today. And Harry Wilson. Paul O'Keefe says Harry Wilson is under consideration in addition to Savinho. Obviously, he's had a great couple of years now at Fulham. He's got one hell of a shot on him. But yeah, I mean, this is a mid signing if we bring him in. Like he's had a great couple of years, but I don't think he's at the level of what we're trying to do. Get back into Europe. 29 years of age, not the worst age, but as a free signing, doesn't smack of ambition, does it?
I mean, the season just been, he was good, but the season before that, was he that good?
I think he had a good second half of the season, did he?
I can't remember now off the top of my head. I mean, but even this season, it was more like that he had a really good purple patch for 4 months.
I think it was the same season before.
Maybe you're right. I mean, this season, he had 19 goal contributions. Season before, he had... it's loading. But I don't remember him being as good the season before. I think this season has been a real purple patch for him, I feel. For me, I think I wouldn't go for him. I don't think he's a winger. I know he's been playing out wide for Fulham, but I don't really see him as a winger. I see him as more of a number 10-y kind of inside kind of attacking midfielder. I mean, yeah, you see before he had 8 goal contributions, so it wasn't not quite as good.
7 season before, 10 the season before that.
Yeah, so this season's been an outlier in his career, and I don't think and also even in this season, as I was saying, there was a period between November to February where he was just bagging every single game, and then it kind of leveled out later on in the season. So I don't think I'll touch him. I know he's on a free, I think, so it's kind of tempting to look at that and think, can he do a job for us? I don't think he's a bad player, but I think he's just a mid-table Premier League player. That's what he is.
Yeah, I think he should be on the target list for Everton or someone like that. And I know we finished 17th 2 years in a row and everything like that. And at that level, he would be very good. But that's not what we are as a football club. We should be competitive in Europe and competitive for the European spaces even next year after finishing 17th. So that's what our ambition should be. And Harry Wilson, I don't think should be considered by Tottenham, in my opinion.
No. I think he's not the worst alternative to Kulusevski if Kulusevski's really struggling. But let's hope Decky comes back. I'd much rather hope for that than Wilson. But yeah, I wouldn't be signing him. It's up to me.
Another one that's being considered is Anan Kaleli of Union Saint-Gilloise in Belgium. Apparently, we're going to be considering him in addition to Savinho as well. I mean, I don't really know too much about him, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, all I've just been looking into him a bit. I know he scored a couple goals, 3 goals in the Champions League last year. 2
against De Zerbi, right?
2 against De Zerbi, so maybe De Zerbi's seen that and taken a liking to him. He's young, he's quick, he's quite a tricky winger. He's got decent kind of end product. Didn't smash it in the goal contributions, but I mean, I don't see the need to be bringing him in, to be honest. I don't know why we're linked with him.
Someone in the comments says 3 goals and 5 assists in the Belgian league last season.
Yeah, not exactly tearing it up.
Yeah, and none for the national side either. So, yeah, I don't know, man. He is young, 21 years of age, younger than Savinho, so who knows? He can develop into something, but we haven't seen that something just yet.
And he's playing the Belgian, he's not like he's proven it at a top level.
Yeah, exactly. So that's him. Next up, let's talk about Hayden Hackney once again, because David Ornstein gave us an update on him, saying Everton currently leading the race for Hayden Hackney. The midfielder favours Everton, and if the preference confirmed, club talks will follow. Tottenham and Palace also among the high among the contenders. Man U not expected to pursue. So it looks like Hayden Hackney could be off to Everton,
which is a good move for them. Obviously, we were talking about we like the thought of getting Hayden Hackney at Tottenham and the kind of player we want. I think he definitely would fit in at Everton. They've got obviously James Garner, Eric Boonham at the moment. I think he would, and obviously Dewsbury Hill, but I think he would like complement the midfielders really well. I think he probably comes in at Everton as a more guaranteed starter than at Spurs. So maybe he's looking at that thinking, I'm probably more likely to improve my career and develop better at Everton than I am at Tottenham. You see what James Garner's done, and he's got himself in the England reckoning. I mean, he's not going to the World Cup, is he, Garner? No. But he was in some squads beforehand. He's had a brilliant season. So
a lot of people on social media saying, well, if Hackney's going to Everton, would you take James Garner? Because a lot of people saying they would at Tottenham.
I mean, he's really impressed me. I've been very surprised by him this season. He's a real workhorse, but he also has a bit of quality about him as well. And I think he's had a phenomenal season. I don't know if he's quite the player we need again. I think he's very similar to what we have, to be honest. Maybe with a bit more quality. But I still think we need someone who's just in that real elite level, like in the what we're missing in midfield, which is passing ability. And I don't know if Garner's quite that. I still think he's like similar to like Gallagher kind of thing. Like his physical attributes are what his best things.
I think he's got a bit of a better shot than Gallagher, doesn't he, James Garner?
Yeah, maybe.
All right, next up, we will talk about a player that I have no clue who he is, but he has been linked to Spurs. He goes by the name of Sergi Dominguez of Dinamo Zagreb. Alfredo Padula say that Tottenham are showing strong interest in Dinamo Zagreb centre-back Sergi Dominguez. It's understood that Lazio have submitted an offer around 3 million, but Spurs are prepared to flex their Premier League spending power with a bid closer to 10 million.
I don't believe this. Why we're not signing more defenders now? If we're going to get one,
why would we sign more defenders?
No, it doesn't make any sense to me. We've just got Senesi through the door. I'm
it's
guessing
probably Zagreb putting something out to get Lazio to up their bid or something.
How many times have we seen agents and newspapers put Tottenham's name in a report or a link just to drive up interest? It happens all the time. So I don't believe we're going for this player. I'll be shocked.
Yeah. And last but not least, not directly Tottenham related, but Alex Scott. The Athletic are reporting that Alex Scott is in talks with Bournemouth over a new deal. However, it appears unlikely that he is going to sign the new contract now. So maybe Alex Scott looking for a way out of Bournemouth. I mean, his contract, he's got one more year left in his contract. So if he doesn't sign, they're going to have to sell this summer, which is going to be an interesting one.
And I think Tottenham should be front of the queue. I know I've been on record saying about what midfielders we want, but I think someone like Alex Scott is there and available. Sometimes you've got to make it happen. And I think he's the kind of guy you make it happen for, in my opinion. And I would love to bring someone like Alex Scott through the door. If it means someone else has to make way, then so be it. But I think he's fully poised, he's quality. I think he's got so much room to grow as well. I'll take him. I'll take him in a heartbeat.
Someone that will bleed for the shirt, just like someone from the stands, you know what I mean? You've seen all the pictures of him growing up in Spurs shirts. Even recently in interviews, he's been saying it. And that goal against Arsenal as well, you saw the fan adulation for him. And, I think he even mentioned something after that goal, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he said it was one of his favourite goals or something.
This guy, I'm telling you, this guy is dying to play for Tottenham.
And he's pure quality.
Yeah.
He's pure quality. He's become one of the better centre mids in the league. Last season, he was absolutely fantastic. So I think when there's an opportunity like that, who's someone who's just who would love to play for you and who's that good, and he's a Tottenham fan, sometimes you've got to take that. And we've been going for too many Gooners recently. It's time to get someone who's fully coising.
Exactly. De Zerbi is speaking about he wants players that want to play for this club. And nobody wants to play for this club probably that has the quality level that Alex Scott. You know what I mean? So bring him in, is what I say. But that is your Tottenham update for today. Let me know in the comments section below your thoughts regarding all the news stories that we have spoken about today. One more quick mention for the great sponsor, that is OK Jersey. 15% off all your football kits, people. Training jerseys. You get these as well, which is unbelievable. Proper quality. this training jersey, the current kits, the old kits, the England kits, the national team kits for any World Cup team, literally any jersey that you want. Jackies as well. Jackets, hoodies, everything. They've literally got everything that you would want on there for sports and for football merchandise. And you get 15% off, and it's very cheap as well. You get like £15 for a football shirt.
And these are quality replicas. Like, I know you can find a lot of cheap replicas out there, which, you know, you put them in the wash and they disintegrate immediately. But these are really, really good quality, and I do highly recommend them. We've got them ourselves, and we're absolutely delighted with them. Yeah,
when I ordered my first bunch, I wasn't sure what we were going to get, but when it came through. Literally, it was like a wow factor taking this out. It's actually just so nice. Look at it with the gold, everything. It's just so nice, man. So get your OK Jersey football kits, 15% off. The link is in the live chat, Spurs 15, and that is your discount code, which is also in the live chat. So go get your football kits right now. Don't waste any time. Go and get it now.
After the stream. Or during the stream.
You can get it during the stream. There's no problems. No problems. There you go. RTHFC says, nice kit, Ben. It is a nice kit. It's the best one. I think this is my favourite one. I wish this was an actual, like, Spurs kit. This is the training jersey that they use, like, once or twice. Like, it's stunning, man. Go get it. All right. Now, we are going to get into our Tottenham transfer target tier list for the summer 26-27. The tiers that we're going to go through from terrible signing, no thanks, wouldn't complain, good signing, and unreal signing. We have got 30 players to get through. So we could be here a while. So strap in and let us know in the comment section below where, or in the live chat, where you would put these players as well. So we're going to go through player by player. And the first player we're going to speak about is Manuel Locatelli. And yeah, I mean, he goes into unreal signing straight away, surely.
I would love him. I would absolutely love him. I think he's played under Zerbi before. I think he could work well under him. I think his passing ability is top notch. There was a period I think we could have got him when he was out of favour at Juve, and now it's going to be a lot more difficult. But with Juve out of the Champions League, they're saying they might need to sell. I think I'd love him through the door. There are a few question marks about physically, you know, will he be overrun? Is he too slow, kind of thing? But you know what? If Villa can make someone like Tielemans work, who's not the quickest, I think we can make Locatelli work. I think he's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, unreal signing for sure, Manuel Locatelli. Next up is João Palhinha. Obviously, he was here on loan, provided some unbelievable moments for us, saved us from relegation. Some good performances, some not so great performances. We all know the flaws that he has in his game, but we all know the, the pros that he comes with as well. So I would put him in good signing.
I put him in wouldn't complain, because that's where I feel he is. I think we could probably do better, but I also understand why people want to keep him and why De Zerbi wants to keep him. So, as I've said, I'd rather go in a different direction, but I wouldn't complain if he stayed. So that's what I would put him in, wouldn't complain. But what are other people saying? Some people said no thanks, some people says unreal, some says wouldn't complain.
I think that's all on Locatelli.
Is it Locatelli?
Let us know where you would put João Palhinha. Would you put him in good signing, or would you put him in wouldn't complain? I think he just about gets into good signing, to be honest. I think he provided well for us. Big moments, big mentality about him as well. De Zerbi obviously really likes him.
Well, I put him in good, only because De Zerbi wants him.
Yeah, I think people agree with me in the live chat. They're saying good, good, good. All right, we're putting him in good. So Palhinha goes into good signing. Next up is Hayden Hackney. I mean, it looks like he's going to Everton, but where would he go? It's hard to know because he's coming from the Championship, so you don't know how good he actually is. But he's had a great few seasons at Middlesbrough. Just won Championship Player of the Year.
Apparently, he's the one who caused the Spygate as well. They wanted to know if Hayden Hackney was fit. That was the whole thing. I would put him in wouldn't complain.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with that.
Wouldn't complain. Because I think, there's a part of me who doesn't want to miss out on another championship midfielder who's really doing well. But I don't know if, I think there are other players who would make me a lot more excited, I think, than him.
Yeah. Alex Scott. So we've just said we're dying to have him at the club. We'd love to have him. But that doesn't necessarily make him an unreal signing. I think he's a good signing. I don't think he's unreal. He's not world-class ability as just yet. But the Tottenham thing makes him more attractive.
And he's quality, but he is quality.
He is quality, but he's not Locatelli quality, you know what I mean?
Well, he's a different player, isn't he?
Yeah.
That's the thing. I
think good signing, Alex Scott.
If he was a different position, I mean, he is what he is. So, yeah, I think I agree with you. I'll put him in good signing. I think he could be an unreal signing the way he turns out. But I think in terms of the profile we actually need, he isn't actually probably what we need. So, probably a good signing in that sense. But it does clog up other areas.
Yeah. So we'll put him in good signing, Alex Scott. Next up is Angelo Stiller of Stuttgart. He's had a fantastic couple of years. I've not seen him play too much, but I've heard a lot about him, seen a lot of stats behind him, and he seems to be having rave reviews week in, week out for Stuttgart, and he seems to be the player that we are desperate for in the number 6 position.
Yeah, I think he'd be an unreal signing. I think he's the kind of midfielder we want as well. I think his passing ability is brilliant, and I think he's also played in the Stuttgart team who play kind of very high-octane football, very attacking football. So I think he'd be an unreal signing.
Is it hard to say he'll be an unreal signing because he's been at Stuttgart for a couple of years? You don't know how he's going to... I guess, yeah.
Someone says he's coming off a nasty injury.
Yeah.
That's a problem then.
I haven't seen enough of him to say unreal signing. I've only heard about him and seen the stats behind him. So it's hard for me to put him in good unreal, which is why I'd put him in good. Yeah, I'm just unsure of it because I just haven't seen him play too much.
Put him in good.
Angelo Stiller goes in good. Next up is Morgan Gibbs-White. I love Morgan Gibbs-White. I think he's proven his quality yet again this season. Second half of the season, single-handedly dragging Nottingham Forest to safety. The season before that, had a fantastic season as well. I'd put him in unreal signing, to be honest.
Yeah, I think he would be an unreal signing, wouldn't he? Especially if we can get past Marinakis. I think that's
probably the most unreal thing about the whole thing.
Itself makes it completely unrealistic. So I think he would be an unreal signing. He would add just that quality we need, isn't it, in those positions. So he's been brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Next up is Adam Wharton. Adam Wharton would be an unreal signing. He is top quality. He got man of the match in the Conference League final for Crystal Palace. The only thing that worries me about Adam Wharton is his injuries. He always seems to be getting these little niggles and little injuries and missing games here and there. And, he was out for quite some time. I think, was it this season or last season? I can't remember.
He hasn't had the best time with injuries.
So that does worry me. But his quality is undeniable.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the injuries, it would be a no-brainer, wouldn't it? The only problem is it's going to cost a hefty fee to get him out of Palace, and his injury record's not the best. But he is the perfect midfielder for us. He is someone who's exactly the kind of midfielder we need. So I would 100% say he's an unreal signing when it just take it on those facts. I think it'd be if we can keep him fit, he would be an unreal signing. Yeah. And we really missed the boat when we didn't get him.
Yeah.
Massively.
All right, we'll put Adam Wharton in unreal signing. I think his quality is undeniable. Next up is Carlos Baleba of Brighton. I mean, if you asked me a year ago, I would have put him in unreal signing, but he hasn't had a good season. So I would bump him down to good signing.
Yeah, another player who's going to cost a pretty penny, isn't he, to get him out of
Not as
Brighton.
much as it cost last season, though.
I mean, it's going to cost 70-odd million, probably, isn't it?
Last year they were talking about 100 million, so...
Yeah, they've dropped it, but people are only willing to bid 70 million last year. It's still going to cost a hell of a lot of money. Yeah, I think if I was to choose, I'd probably choose Locatelli or Wharton over him. But I think he has potential to be up there, to be honest. So I think under De Zerbi, he could be as good as those players at the top there. But I think right now, considering he didn't have the best season, yeah, you put him in good.
Next up, we're going to look at a few goalkeepers now. Benfica goalkeeper Trubin. Apparently, he's a very good goalkeeper. Again, I haven't really seen him play too much, so it's hard.
Madrid.
Yeah, he scored. I mean, he's very tall, isn't he? Extremely tall. I'm not sure how good he is with the ball at his feet or anything like that. So it's hard for me to comment, really.
Yeah, I don't know too much about him. If he's the kind of a goalkeeper you want, so no thanks, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we could be saying no thanks to like the best goalkeeper in Europe, but we don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if he might be that good. I know he scored against Madrid. I'd rather go for someone probably experienced.
All right, we'll go no thanks for Trubin. Next up is James Trafford. For me, wouldn't complain.
I think it'd be a good signing. I think it'd be a good signing. I've been impressed with Trafford since he stepped in for Man City on occasion this year. I know he made a few mistakes right at the beginning, but since then, when he's been playing, he's actually been really good.
It's not many games, though.
In the Cups, he's been good. And whenever he stepped in the Prem, I think he's been pretty good. And I think, obviously off the back of a very good season for Burnley before that, I think it'd be a good signing. Well, maybe he wouldn't complain. Yeah, maybe he wouldn't complain, to be fair.
Yeah, I wouldn't complain, James Trafford. All right, we'll put him in wouldn't complain. Next up is Bart Verbruggen. I think Bart Verbruggen is a level above James Trafford. I think Verbruggen would be a good signing.
Yeah, that's why I changed my mind, because I saw he was coming next. I was like, okay, maybe, because I want Verbruggen a bit more, and I think he's a bit better. So I think he'd be a good signing.
After Verbruggen, we are going to look at Robin Roofs of Sunderland. Very good season for Sunderland. I'm just not sure if he's the right keeper for us, because obviously Sunderland playing a different style than we're going to be playing next season, so it's hard to really know. But he's a young goalkeeper, had a very good season, one of the goalkeepers of the season, to be honest. But I would still put him in wouldn't complain.
Yeah, I think I'd rather Trafford than him. I think from what I've seen, I don't think he's as comfortable with the ball as the other guys. I know they play different systems, so it's hard to compare. But when I have seen him try and play out the back, it's not gone so well. So based on what I've seen, he's obviously had a very fantastic season. Wouldn't complain.
Robin Roofs goes into wouldn't complain. Now we are looking at strikers, and we're going to get into Gonçalo Ramos of PSG. They paid big money for him. They also paid big money for Muani. Do we want another castaway from PSG like Randall Kolo Muani? I'm not so sure we do. I don't know. This could turn out to be a terrible signing. It could turn out to be an unreal signing. He's got quality, obviously. That's why PSG paid so much money for him. But we've gone through these Timo Werners and Kolo Muanis, these players that are out of favour at big clubs, and it just hasn't worked out. So I'd prefer not to go for Gonçalo Ramos, to be honest.
Yeah, no thanks. No thanks.
No thanks or terrible signing? Because he could very well be a terrible signing.
Yeah, I think it's a no thanks. I think there's reasons to maybe go for it because he's young still and he had a good goal scoring record at Benfica. There's a reason they signed him, so maybe someone get the best out of him. But I wouldn't risk it.
Tax, though, isn't it?
I wouldn't risk it, so it's no thanks for me.
Yeah, I agree. All right, Gonçalo Ramos, no thanks. Next up is Omar Mamouche of Manchester City. I would love Mamouche. I think he's top quality. I'll put him in unreal signing. I think he comes in and he's our best number 9 straight away. He's proven it at Premier League level. Even at the back end of last season, when they were giving Haaland rest, he came in, scored goals. He hasn't got the chances, I think, which his quality deserves at Man City because he's got Erling Haaland in front of him. Sometimes he's been shunted out to the wing, but he is a number 9. So I would say unreal signing, Mamouche.
Yeah, I would love Mamouche at Tottenham. I think he would work wonders under De Zerbi as well. And I think having trust that he's going to be, starting every week as well, you'll see a bit of Mamouche, and I think he's actually been pretty good for City. I think. I know he hasn't played all the time, but I think they haven't really found his best position because he needs to play up front. But they got Haaland there, so they put him a bit deeper, and it hasn't quite worked. Whenever I think he's played up front, I think he's done quite well. So I think De Zerbi would love someone like Mamouche. So yeah, for sure, unreal.
Next up is Santiago Jimenez. No, we're not in 2022. We are here in 2026, and we're still talking about Santiago Jimenez. He's left the Dutch league and he's gone over to Italy in a big move, and he's flopped massively there, massively. So I'm going to put him in terrible signing.
Yeah, I agree. I don't want him anywhere near my football club. I think it'd be a massive flop if he came.
He's got a serious air of Vincent Janssen about him.
Yeah, he's got a touch of the Vincents. Yeah, for sure.
Ivan Toney. What are we thinking about Ivan Toney? I'm unsure because he's been in Saudi for what, a year now? Is it a year or is it longer than a year?
It is.
Did he go there last summer or was it the summer before?
Trying to remember now. I think it's 1 year. Yeah, I think he's been there 1 year. Because then he had the ban. Yeah, this has been his first year.
First year in Saudi.
Can't remember now. Maybe not. Anyway,
Weren't we linked with him with Thomas Frank in the summer, last summer?
we were linked with him in January.
Not in summer. Anyway, I'll put him in. Wouldn't complain.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. If we can structure a deal where we're not completely massively.
He is probably better than what we got.
Yeah, I know, but he's coming from Saudi, massive wages. Also getting close to 30. I do like Tony, to be fair. It was very close between him and Solanke in that summer when we were going for both of them. We ended up with Solanke. Probably should have gone with Tony. But yeah, I wouldn't complain.
Okay, Ivan Toney goes into wouldn't complain. Next up is Moise Keane. Didn't do well at Everton, but he was very young. He was a teenager when he was at Everton, so it's hard to judge him. Did it okay at PSG. And then where did he go after Juventus? He did really poorly. And then he's gone to Fiorentina. His first season there, he was a beast. He was unbelievable. This season just gone not so great.
A lot of people saying he has very good underlying numbers. Like, he gets a lot of chances, and he's a very good finisher when he gets those chances. So maybe playing in a better team could be beneficial to him. And if you have someone like, some of our wingers creating chances for him, maybe he could eat off that. But for me, I think it's a no thanks. I'd rather go for someone better, someone a bit more proven track record, to be honest. He's 26 now. He's not exactly young anymore. You always think of Moise Keane as this young up-and-coming player, but, he's 26. I'd just rather go in another direction. I hope we can get someone better.
I bet you, though, if we were to sign him, you wouldn't complain about it.
I'm not going to complain about anyone signing anyone. I'm going to back them.
Santiago Jimenez?
Okay, maybe him I'll complain about. But
I don't know. I'm stuck between no thanks and wouldn't complain. It's one of those two tiers. What are you guys thinking? I'm happy to put him in no thanks. Let's put him in no thanks. All right. Moise Keane goes into no thanks. Next up is Antonio Nusa. The kid's smashing it right now. We nearly signed him, and then I don't know, it was because of some sort of injury that he had that we didn't sign him. But
we failed a medical at Brentford, didn't he?
Oh, was it Brentford, not at Spurs?
But we were heavily linked.
Yeah. So I think Antonio Nusa, he's gone from strength to strength ever since that kind of failed move to Brentford. I would put him. I'm not. I think good signing.
Yeah, I think he would be a phenomenal signing, to be honest. It's just the only question mark is really why did he fail that why did he fail that medical? What happened?
It's a while ago now, though.
It was a while ago, but still, a failed medical means they're worried about your future, how much they're worried about how much you can sustain those injuries going forward, and how much you can stay fit. Yeah, I'll put him in good signing.
He played 31 games this year in the Bundesliga, 4 goals and 3 assists. Not exactly stunning numbers.
True, but I think he's more than that. He's a real handful. I really like Nusa.
Next up is Crescencio Somerville. Had a very good second half of the season. He's definitely got quality about him. He's shown and proved it in the second half of the season. But my worry is it a purple patch or not? I'm not too sure. I would put him in wouldn't complain.
Yeah, I think the same. Wouldn't complain. I'd rather go for people we're more sure about and happy about. But if we end up with Somerville, it's not the worst, but so I wouldn't complain.
It's not something to write home about, you know what I mean? So, yeah. Rashford. Marcus Rashford, coming off a decent season or a good season at Barcelona, out in the cold at Manchester United. Where would he go? I think it would be a really good signing for us.
Yeah, me too.
I'm going to go into unreal signing.
Yeah.
I'll be delighted to sign Marcus Rashford.
I think so as well. And I think he can also play up front if need be on certain occasions. He's an absolute killer in front of goal. I think that's where he really earns his money. His shooting ability is phenomenal. Best on the list, probably. So, yeah, I think he would be an unreal signing if we can get him through the door. The only question marks really are his personality at the moment. Like a lot, why it didn't work out at Man United, but he seems to have put that all to bed in his loan spells and done really well at Barca, and seems to got a bit of a second lease of life about him. But he also, a lot of people saying since he had that back injury at United, he hasn't quite been the same. And I kind of agree. I don't think he's ever been back to his very, very best, but he's definitely shown signs of it at Barca. If we can get him back to his best consistently.
You know what? I actually might want to bump him down to good signing. Because of that. Not only because of that, because he was good at Barca, but I don't think he smashed out the water. And also at Aston Villa last season on loan, second half of the season, he was very inconsistent, in my opinion.
He was great in the Champions League.
Yeah, in the Premier League he wasn't that good.
Yeah, he wasn't as good in the Prem.
I'll put him in good signing. I think unreal signing is a bit too much. Next up is Savinho. Looks like we could be signing Savinho. So does he go? Where does he go for you?
I think it'd be a good signing. As I've said, I think I think he gives us something we don't have. Well, more of something that we need. I think from the wing wide positions. I really like how he plays. I think he's quality. I think he'll give us something that we need, which is just more trickery, more pace, more threat on the wings. So I think he'd be a good signing. That's why I put him.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree. I think he'll be a good signing for us, but I'm not sure if we'll see it immediately. Like I keep mentioning, I want to bring him in with one that's better than him. So I'll be happy to sign Savinho. I just want to see him brought in alongside quality as well. So, yeah, we'll put Savinho in good signing. Next up is Jack Grealish. Good loan spell at Everton just now.
He did miss he
missed a significant part of the season, yeah.
Late in the season.
But up until that point, he was like their best player.
Well, you say that. I thought he had an amazing start and then did go off the boil a bit. I wouldn't say he was bad, but he was incredible for the first 10 games or something, and then he kind of wasn't as good for the bit after that. He started on fire, didn't he? I'm not saying he's obviously, I would definitely categorise his loan spell as good and positive, but I'm just saying he didn't quite sustain what was an amazing start he had.
We talk about Rashford with the London Life. What about Grealish with the London Life?
Also true. For me, I wouldn't complain if we got Grealish.
I think if we're looking to sign him on a permanent, I would say no. No thanks. If it's a loan spell for a year, then I would say it could be a good signing. So maybe we'll just split the difference and say wouldn't complain.
Yeah, I wouldn't complain.
Next up is Magnus Akalush. Right/10. Got tons of ability. We've only seen him do it in the French league, which is, obviously a question mark there.
And the Champions League.
Yeah, in Champions League. I remember playing against Monaco and he absolutely tore us to shreds.
And against PSG, he always seems to have a good game.
I think it'll be a good signing.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good signing as well. Play the 10, can play off the right, so it gives a bit of versatility there as well. I think he's a really, also ups the technical ability of the squad. So yeah, good signing.
Next up is Harry Wilson.
Harry Wilson.
No thanks. I don't think it'll be a terrible signing because I think he'll probably come in and get some goals, but nah, no thanks.
I agree. No thanks. Not interested.
Someone in the comments says Harry Wilson is a must.
It's a must. No, come on. No thanks.
Jared Bowen. Another one off West Ham. He's had a terrible season. There's no getting away from it. But we know the player he can be, and we know he's a very good player. Is he an unreal signing or is he a good signing? Because I think he's too good to put underneath that.
Yeah, unreal. A year ago would be unreal, wouldn't it? But after the season he's had, he seems to be maybe losing it a bit physically. That's what I'm worried about with Bowen. When I watch him play, he doesn't have that sharpness, that electricity he kind of used to have. So that's a bit of a worry. He still has that finishing ability, I think, and he still is. He can still when he gets to the final third, he's still very effective. But getting to the final third seems to be a bit of an issue for him.
Everyone in the comments saying no thanks to Jarrod Bowen. Where are you putting him?
I think it'd be a good signing.
If you bring him in and share the load with him and Kudus on the right-hand side...
They had problems with that, didn't they, West Ham? Yeah, they shunted Kudus out to the left, didn't they?
Yeah.
That was a problem. I mean, maybe you wouldn't complain.
The more I think about it, the more I do want to bump him down a bit. Yeah, I'd go wouldn't complain because I think he's a good player. All right, who's this one? John Stones.
John Stones.
Then it's centre-backs now. John Stones, Thomas Tuchel said he's still a world-class centre-back. But no thanks.
Be interesting. What I would love is if we, let's say, sold Danso, we got Stones and then brought Vuskovic in. That could be a really good situation, but I don't see us doing that.
Second fiddle to Vuskovic.
Not second, well, first choice, and then if he can't play, you have Vuskovic there. And then he's not. He barely plays 30 games a season, does he? So Vuskovic will get a lot of game time, and he'll learn a lot from him. So I think that could be a good situation. But seeing as that's not going to happen, and let's say we're only signing Stones to play first choice right centre back, no thanks. I think his injury record is way too sus. I think obviously player wise, brilliant, but I wouldn't trust that injury record.
Yeah, I think he's past it, John Stones.
I think whenever I see him play, I don't see anything bad. I think he's still a good player. It's just the injuries.
Jan Paul Van Hecker of Brighton, heavily linked to Spurs. I think good signing.
I think, if you're talking about, I think he'd be an unreal signing because I think if Vuskovic doesn't come, if Vuskovic isn't ready and we sell Romero, I think he's the number one choice, isn't he? Like, I don't think I'd want anyone else. So I think he would be perfect for us. So I think he's an unreal signing if we can get him, Van Hecker.
Unreal signing, Van Hecker. Is there anyone else in the Premier League that's attainable that you'd want over Van Hecker at right centre-back?
I don't think so. Can't think of anyone off the top of my head. Because he'd be perfect for us. So I kind of feel like it'd be an unreal signing.
All right, put him into unreal signings. I do very much rate him. Who's this next one?
O'Reilly.
Oh, Matt O'Reilly. We're into centre mids now.
I think terrible signing. Well, or no thanks, one of those two. Not really interested in bringing him in. Don't need him. He's not even a profile we need in the squad. He's been off the boil for a year.
Would he be a terrible signing?
Yeah, because we don't need him. So what would be the point? He'd probably come and do a Dewsbury Hall with Chelsea. That's what I think. And
right.
You know what I mean? Not because he's a bad player. It's just we don't need. Why do we need him?
Yeah. Okay. O'Reilly goes into terrible signing. Who's this?
Curtis Jones.
Oh, Curtis Jones. I think he'll be a good signing for us.
I agree. Not unreal, but I think what he's shown Liverpool, what he brings to the table as well, that technical ability, that progressive passing. We definitely need that. I'd much rather he was maybe a bit more physical, but is what it is. So I think it'd be a good signing.
And last one is Roma's Manu Kone.
Everyone goes crazy about Manu Kone.
Yeah.
Everyone goes nuts about him, saying he's the best thing since sliced bread. I've seen him only a few times. I remember he played against Spurs for Roma, and he was pretty good in that game. He seems like a very, very good midfielder. I don't know. If judging by what everyone says, he's an unreal signing, but I don't know. He's definitely one who's got the right physical profile, and he does seem to be good on the ball. So But is he exactly what we need? Is he like a Wharton or Locatelli on the ball, or is he more like I don't know, a Baleba or something?
It's hard to know without watching him at close quarters. So let's put him in good signing. Manu Kone goes in good signing. And there you have it. That is the 26-27 summer transfer target tier list. So in terrible signing, we got Santiago Jimenez and Matt O'Reilly. In no thanks, we've got Robin Roofs. Who's the second one?
I can't see. I see Keane, Wilson, Stones. I don't know who that. Who's that second one there?
Ramos.
Ramos.
Oh, Gonçalo Ramos. In Wouldn't Complain, we've got Hayden Hackney, James Trafford,
Roofs.
Robin Roofs, Ivan Toney, Somerville, Grealish, and Bowen. In good signing, we've got Paulinia, Scott,
Stiller.
Stiller, Baleba,
Verbruggen.
Nusa, Rashford, Savinho, Akilush, Curtis Jones, and Manu Kone. An unreal signing, we've got Locatelli, Morgan Gibbs-White, Adam Wharton, Omar Mamouche, and Jan Paul van Hecker.
If we can get any of the top row, that'll be fantastic. How many of the top row are we going to get? None, probably.
None.
Only going to be relegated to maybe Goodson, Wooden Complaints, and probably a couple of...
For that midfield of Wharton, Gibbs-White, and Locatelli, I'd sell our whole midfield for that.
Oh, for sure.
I
wouldn't mind a mix of get a Locatelli, one of Locatelli or Wharton, a Gibbs-White and an Alex Scott.
I think
That'd be perfect.
I think them three would work really well together. All three of them together. You'd have Locatelli and Wharton in double pivot, and then Morgan Gibbs-White in a 10.
I think actually it wouldn't work.
Why not?
I don't think it's you've got enough ground coverage. I think Wharton and Locatelli are too much kind of sitting sixes. I think you need one of them. I don't think you need both of them. They're both amazing. I think they both fulfill the same role, is what I'm saying. I think Scott will bring the
Wharton
energy.
does cover much more ground than Locatelli would.
Yeah, he does. But he still doesn't do enough. You know, you want someone with a bit more energy, gets around the pitch a bit more. I think Scott would be... I think if you paired Scott with a Locatelli or a Wharton, that'd be perfect.
Yeah, I mean, I would maybe bump Curtis Jones down to Wouldn't Complain, but apart from that, yeah, I'm pretty comfortable with that tier list, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it's... I'm trying to think. Well, yeah, Wooden Complains... I don't think I would complain.
There are a couple of players now off the top of my head that I've just seen in the comments that we've missed out on. Rafael Leao and Nico Gonzalez. They've been two players.
Nico Gonzalez, yeah, he should be.
They've been two players that have been linked with us. Can we get those two pictures put in there? Maybe we can put them in. Let's start off with Rafael Leao. Where would you put Rafael Leao?
It's either like no thanks or unreal signing.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's difficult on Rafael Leao, man.
Bomber Spurs made official inquiries on Nico. Is that true? Have anyone heard about who's saying about Nico Gonzalez?
Rafael Leao, though, let's put him in. I don't know, man. Where does Rafael Leao go, people? Wouldn't Complain? Nah, come on. He's got to be either in the top two or the bottom two. He can't be in Wouldn't Complain.
Obviously, I'm going to be gassed if we sign Rafael Leao. That's like no doubt about it.
But would he actually be a good signing for us?
That's
Because
the
I
question.
don't know if he would.
Unreal, because Zabi wouldn't sign off on it if he doesn't think he's the bee's knees.
I don't think he would press enough. I'm going to say no thanks. I can't believe I'm saying no thanks to Rafael Leao. But
I know you could look very stupid if he moves and smashes it somewhere.
yeah, and he very well could do. But it won't be the first time we've looked stupid on these tier lists. Nico Gonzalez, I'll put him in.
I think he'd be a good signing. Well, maybe Unreal. No, not Unreal. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
'cause
that-
I think, yeah, if you get he's someone, yeah, probably a tier down from Locatelli and Wharton. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is the tier list now, fully completed. 32 players for you guys in this summer transfer target tier list. And that is it from us today. Is there anything on this Nico Gonzalez?
Yeah, who's saying that? I haven't seen anything. Nico Gonzalez. People are saying, and someone said, "Oh, is this Chris guy?" No, I don't think that means anything.
Chris is even lower grade than we can even report here.
No, nothing. Well, if there's anything that does break, we will be back with you. But nothing. I don't see anything. Chris, yeah. I mean, it might be true, but Aston Villa explore Somerville. No, nothing reliable.
Yeah. Well, there you have it, people. Once again, do go to OK Jersey to get your best football kits. Any football kit that you wish to buy is all on OK Jersey. 15% off using the code Spurs15. And they're just £15, people. Just £15 for top quality football shirts from around the world. Any club that you want, any national team that you want. With the World Cup coming up, you need to be getting the best shirts available. And this is what it is. Look, the New England shirts, or whatever country that you're supporting, they've got you covered, people. So get your shirts on OK Jersey. The link is pinned to the live chat. Our discount code is on the live chat as well. And it is the biggest discount you can get on YouTube. So go and buy your jerseys right now, people. But thank you, everyone, for joining us today. We'll see you all very soon. No doubt we'll probably see you later tonight when there's more transfer rumours coming out. But for now, it's goodbye. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.